Okay, so I did an initial Wheel of Time magic system video, and some people asked for me to expand on more. But before I get into that, should I invest in better lighting or a new DSLR? You guys decide, because my Patreons have really kicked it in, and I can actually afford to upgrade significantly now after saving for a few months, so that's awesome. Thank you especially to you guys. So, there are a few other aspects of the Wheel of Time magic system that are certainly worth diving into. First and foremost, the dream world. This is a different dimension kind of within the established Wheel of Time world, where if someone is a dream walker, which is a select group of people, they can enter the dream world and actually control things through their will in this separate dimension. This is literally a dream world. Like, people who are asleep, who are not dream walkers, can accidentally end up in it for brief flashes. It's actually really dangerous, because if something happens to you there physically, it will happen to you in the real world as well. So people who enter during a nightmare can wake up with unexplained scars or dead. Now, they do touch it so lightly often that their injuries are actually a reduced version, but real dream walkers who enter the dream world do certainly take a substantial amount of damage from any real physical injury that happens to them. Now, this is not related to the one power, so non-channelers can enter the dream world if they are dream walkers. The only people who are guaranteed to be dream walkers are wolf brothers, and we will get into them more later. You can enter the dream world through the use of magical items that have the ability. There are certain kinds of magical items that can enhance someone's ability to channel or have certain effects on them. There are Ungriel or Saw Ungriel or things like that, and they're a part of the Wheel of Time, but they're that simple. That's them explained. They're just either magical enhancers or certain spells that can come out of them if you channel into them. So getting back into the dream world, those are the people who can enter. So either wolf brothers, people accidentally touching it briefly, or dream walkers, the people who have control. Wolf brothers also have the same level of control of dream walkers, but that's a whole other thing. Now, I said you can affect this world with your will, and I mean it literally. If you will something to come to you, it will move to you, but it goes way beyond that. You could will someone to be dumber, and if you have stronger will than them, it will be successful. You could will someone to be a horse, and if you are good enough, that will happen. Anyone here who has real control over the dream world is essentially a minor god. This goes as far as to affecting weaves. Yes, if a channeler is in the dream world, they can still channel, but anyone else who knows what they are doing could simply will their weaves away. This is extraordinary with the magic system established. The one power is nothing to be shrugged at, but if you know what you're doing in the dream world, you certainly could shrug it off. So what we have here is a minor pocket dimension that certain people can enter and others enter accidentally, with extreme power just floating around, and this is a very dangerous place. You can enter it in your dream, as I established, but you could also enter it physically. This is considered a very evil thing, but you still have a lot of control while you're there physically. Although many people advise not to do it. It's never explicitly said why it's considered evil, but if you read between the lines, you can kind of figure out for yourself why it is considered such a bad thing. There is also another little pocket dimension between this dimension and ours, and that is where dreamwalkers, and exclusively dreamwalkers, have the ability to go into other people's actual dreams, people who are not in the dream world. But if you're sadistic, you could actually drag that person into the dream world and have control over them. That being said, if you're a dreamwalker and you enter someone's dreams, this is dangerous. They have complete control there. You are in their world, and that's why if you are about to go against an enemy, you might want to drag them into the dream world, so at least it's an even playing field and not enter their own little personal dream world. If someone has strong emotions towards you, they can actually drag you into their dreams, which is a dangerous thing, because if someone hates you, that could be a rather unpleasant experience, and then again, if they love you, that could be a good thing, I guess. Although in my opinion, an extreme invasion of privacy. There's one last feature to the dream world that makes it even more dangerous: nightmares. As I said, people who are having normal everyday dreams can accidentally end up in the dream world for a brief second, and once they leave, assuming their nightmare has not killed them on accident, their nightmare does not always go away as well. They can leave behind their actual nightmare, so there are walking nightmares in the dream world. Kind of really reiterates why this place is not something you want to mess around with. So that, in a nutshell, is the dream world. It's this completely separate bit from the true source that, yes, some channelers can go into, but not everyone who's a channeler can go into it. For example, Wolf Brothers, and we're going to get into them now. So So minor spoiler for an incredibly early thing in the Wheel of Time, Paranebara is a wolf brother. These are people who can communicate and talk with wolves. Pretty much the most badass thing anyone can do in the Wheel of Time. I love this. Now, wolf brothers, beyond just being able to talk and communicate with wolves and understand them, and yes, wolves are sentient beings in the world, and they can also enter the dream world themselves once they die, interesting, and in their sleep. A wolf brother will also have enhanced senses and maybe enhanced strength. I don't know if that's just a parent thing or if that is something that all wolf brothers share, because Elias certainly seemed like a strong guy as well. So a wolf brother or sister can communicate with wolves, has enhanced senses, and can enter this dream world. A pretty cool ability to have. But there is some other side effects, most noticeably their eyes turning gold. Not yellow, gold. A glowing gold. So yes, a wolf brother will stand out of the pack. I'm not sure if women can be wolf brothers as well, so be wolf brothers and sisters. I think there might be one mentioned at some point, but I could certainly be wrong about that. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to be, but we never meet one. Wolf brothers are not tied to the true source as well. They are a different entity. This is proved by Elias Matura being a former warder, being a wolf brother at the White Tower investigating it, some thinking he could be male channeling, but in reality he is not. We are told that. Wolf brothers have been around forever. It's a very ancient thing that is just re-emerging and somehow tied to Rand the Dragon Reborn coming back. It is an ancient good thing, although for understandable reasons, some people think it's evil because they think wolves are evil or serve the Dark One. On a side note, Hopper is one of the best characters in the Wheel of Time. Finally, the last bit of magic I will touch on in the Wheel of Time is Shadar Logoth, the dead city, the evil city. Essentially, when the shadow was near its strongest, this city decided it would become so evil that it would be able to take down the shadow. A really horrific idea, something that quickly went out of control. The city self-imploded, with basically all of the inhabitants dying except for an entity called a Mordeith and a mist that if you touch it, it's pretty much the worst way to die within the Wheel of Time. Our party does enter it in the first Wheel of Time book to avoid some Trollocs, because even Trollocs are afraid to enter Shadar Logoth. It is an absolutely terrifying city, and I can't get into it much more without getting into even more spoilers than I already have, but it's nothing to mess around with. Trollocs die if they enter there because, yes, well, it is evil towards everyone. It is especially vicious towards the shadow. So that's about it. That is the remaining aspects of the Wheel of Time. I know I didn't get that into the Ungriel, Sa-Ungriel, and etc., but that's just because I feel that there's a lot of spoilers there, and I don't want to get into any examples of specific abilities of certain ones because that's a spoiler. I mean, a lot of those things are very key plot points. But yes, things like Kalendor are incredibly powerful tools that shape the world, and they fall into that category. That's pretty much it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is certainly something I'm willing to expand on even more. I could do a spoiler-filled Wheel of Time magic video where we kind of explore the whys and hows of certain events that revolve around the magic system, like certain things that Rand does or beyond that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you'd like to support what I do here. Again, extra thank you to you guys. You're allowing me to kind of improve this channel day by day, and I cannot stress how much I appreciate that. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.